What's good, YouTube? It's Ricky Rose coming at you with a brand new video, and in this video I'm gonna be trying to perfect the perfect inside center. Now let's just get everything out the way. I did kind of flake. I started off a little strong when the game came out, kind of got bored of it. Now I came back and I'm kind of interested again. Happy New Year, happy new decade. Merry Christmas as well. Kind of missed that one. Happy Thanksgiving. Kind of killed all the leftovers, but nonetheless I'm back. Let's see how this year's treat. So far, I had a little hiccup with my Elgato, so this video was supposed to go out a little earlier, but whatever. We're gonna get to it. So in this whole video, the whole purpose of it is just to create a perfect inside center. I don't care about middies. I don't care about threes. Anything other than post hooks, post fades, which with this build you probably won't have, but it's completely up to you. Post hooks, drop steps, reverse layers, reverse dunks, standing dunks. I want all of that. I don't want middies. I don't want no free throws is optional, but I'm gonna kind of get into everything. Well, first things first, the skill break that you want to go with is defense, rebounding, and finishing. Just because obviously you want to snag and you also kind of want to dunk, so you're gonna want that. So for the physicals, you want to go all the way down to the balance. The vertical is insanely decent. The strength is all the way maxed out. The speed is okay. It's alright. Could be higher, obviously, but then again, you're a center, you're going to be slow, so there's no point in putting it that high. Now, for the finishing, I'm going to just put everything up and then show you what you want to do afterwards. So, as you can see, maxed out, no matter what, you get 22 badges. Now, this is always the trick that you want to do when you're making a build. You want to remove extra stats that don't need to be there when you get the badge upgrade, kind of. So as you can see, I'm gonna remove a whole bunch of points from a 69. I'm gonna drop down all the way to 61, and I lose one of the finishing badges, but you want to put that back on. So the lowest you're gonna go is 62. Now for the finishing, you'll be like, oh, but you're a center, you're gonna want driving layups. In reality, a driving layups comes out when you're dribbling down the court and you have momentum. You're a fucking center. You don't, like, in my head, I'm not going to be doing any of that unless I'm on a fast break and I'm by myself. I will do it. I will try my best to fill up the whole bar. But even then, it's most likely going to go in because it's not completely all the way down. You still have, almost 12 to 13 points into it. So, and even then, if I'm on a fast break, I'll just dunk it with my driving. So me taking away those points isn't really going to affect it that much. Now in your shooting, now this is where everything kind of shifts off. You could kind of go with the mid-range shot. It's going to be a 62. You will not hit consistently. You will get 1 out of 10. So I don't recommend you put that up. Now you are an inside center. My best bet is to go with free throws. Now the reason I say go with free throws is because if you play Rec or Pro-Am, you will get fouled a lot. You're going to be an inside center. You're going to be going up, drawing a whole bunch of contact. So you would want to get your free throws in. If you get fouled, you want to hit those just to keep your team at with the lead or whatever. And you would want that. But another thing you could do is actually remove that and put the post fade up. But the badges, you have to invest so many badges in order just to get, I said badges. You have to invest so many attributes just to get more badges that it seems like there's no point in putting up the post fade. And I've tried it with multiple builds, and I've tried my best to do it with different charts, and it just doesn't give me enough defensive and rebounding badges. So this was the best chart to go with. Now for me, obviously, I'm not gonna go with the post fade. I'm gonna just strictly stay with the free throws, and we are gonna come back to the free throws just because I kind of don't need that much into it. The next thing, post moves. Obviously, that has to go maxed out, and you want to put this up to the point where you get 8. Like, obviously, it's completely arguable. You could kind of get more, 10. You could put some of this up too. But for me, I only need 8. That's my limit. That's all I need. And the reason I went with pass accuracy is because if you get a board, break starter, that's one of the badges that you will have. So there's no point in really having ball handling because you'll get ripped regardless. You're a big ass center. With the last one, you want to get the main 4 categories, which is going to be interior defense, blocking, and defensive rebound. Now, once again, there's no point in having this many blocks just because, matter of fact, hold on, we're going to take that, we're going to leave it there. This is what we're going to bring down. We're going to leave it at a 68. Yeah, that's actually going to be good. And you're going to want to come over here and pick one of these categories. Whichever category you want, you're going to want to put it in. And as you can see, I had one more point and I put it back into free throw. That's going to stay at a 69. That's going to be the flat limit. But you could remove this and basically equip it to whichever attribute you would prefer. I'm going to just go with lateral quickness strictly in case I have to D up somebody in the perimeter. So that's the only reason, or if I have to switch, that's why I would go with with lateral quickness, just basically off those switch offs. And even then, I won't really need it as much. But this would be my core build when it comes down to it. Now, into the body shape, Burley, it would fit. You could go with built. That's what I'm actually going to go with. I'm going to look like Dwight Howard, even though he got that little tranny scandal going on, whatever, to each his own. The next thing, the height affects the badge that you want to go for when I'm talking about the takeover badge. If you leave it at 250, I believe, you can leave the default wingspan and get the badge that you want, which is going to be the post scorer badge. There's no point in this badge is by far one of the worst takeover badges in this game. If you have that, your player is by default trash. No lie. Glass cleaning is actually decent, not too bad. But if somebody's taller than you and they have more rebounding than you with the badge on, and you have the same badge with them, they're gonna cook you. So there's no point. But with the post scoring badge, this is where everything comes into play. With this badge, you become a post scorer. Obviously, you can't post fade because then again, you only get one shooting badge. I wish you could get more without investing so much shooting attributes, but you can't. So that's the only whack one. But you could put the weight up, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I want to have a 90 interior defense, which is gonna be 250. You could put it up a little higher. Let me see. If I lower it to 287, as you can see, the more you put up your weight, the more you have to lower your wingspan in order to get the badge. I believe if I go to 86 now, the badge is going to be there. So you do not want to increase his weight by too much. The only reason I'm putting it up is because I want to have his interior defense at a 90 flat. So right here, I think I will have to drop it down to a 87 just to confirm it. And I will have to actually drop it. And he still got kind of, a good wingspan when it comes down to it. It's not too bad. I wish I could get it to 84, but then again, the only bad thing about having a big wingspan on the big centers, they fumble the ball a lot. I don't know why, but that's just the thing. If you have long arms, they just get to fumbling the ball for no apparent reason. You just give them the ball and they just start tumbling like what's going on? So I don't recommend maxing it out completely. If you do have a chance to get the post scorer badge, I would say go around 80, 92. 93 is still too big. 92 to 90 would definitely be the range that I would go with. I promise you, unless you're a glass cleaning lockdown or a glass cleaner that has strictly just rebounding on his build, do not max your wingspan. For me, is like there's just no point. But for me, like I said, I'm going to go with the 87 just because I want the post scorer badge. And then you're going to see who they compare me to, which is Clint Capella, a monster in the Houston Rockets. Hassan Whiteside, which the Heat traded away because that nigga was wilding on our staff. So good luck to Portland, even though they're getting smoked. Andre Drummond, by far one of the best bigs in the league right now. I ain't even gonna lie to you. He be averaging 2020. Ironic, because that's the year that we're in. But I'm going to the test build and show you the badges that I would put into this guy. And I'm going to leave this build here for like my personal self, because this is the build that I am going to be working on after this. So I'm going to just put it at 85, just say you maxed it out. Now, to run through every single badge that you're going to be needing, is going to be 4 core badges that you want Hall of Fame. It's completely up to you. If you want to have it on gold and you feel like it's enough for it to be on gold, then go with it. I'm not really going to hack you too much. But back down Punisher, keep in mind you're going to be inside big, so you want to have as much as a bully mentality as possible. So having Drop Stepper on Hall of Fame and back down Punisher really gives you that. You bump somebody and then you turn around and hit them with a hook shot, you're going to be open. It's going to be automatic greens. And now if you have the badge, even more. And keep in mind, I put him at 7 feet. You can actually make him 7'3" if you want. And you become an even bigger bully, just to overlook any defensive threat that you might have. So obviously contact finisher, you're a big motherfucker, you want to bully people down there, you're going to want that. You have 6 badges, well 6 upgrades left for you can implement to those badges. After those 4 core ones, you can make whatever you want. Well, when it comes to those badges, you can mix and match and see which one fits you most. For me, I would put one on Lob City Finisher just to be able to catch him with somewhat of consistency. If you don't have it, it's kind of hard, and sometimes the passer just throws the ball over your head, and it's kind of wonky. So I would just put it. I would just put one in Finisher just to have it. Slithery Finisher, I kind of would not put him onto a big man, because if you're gonna be a post scorer type of big, you're gonna be drawing as much contact as possible. So investing into this badge is kind of useless. Teardropper, there's no point. Relentless Finisher and putback balls. Obviously, if you get an offensive rebound, you want to get a higher chance of actually making it if you go right back up, which most bigs do. Relentless Finisher to you're gonna obviously post scorer. You're gonna be drawing wild contact. You don't need that. Now, Giant Slayer, there is gonna be centers that's gonna be way taller than you. That's a good badge to get, or consistent unfinisher. Completely up to you, but I would go with Giant Slayer just for that little secondary thing that it does give you. As you can see, if you look at the end of the sentence, it says, and reduces the possibility of getting blocked. If you're a big man and you're going against another big man, he's most likely gonna put that shit. There's no ands if or buts. But that's what I would go with. Obviously, you will switch some of these if you want, but that's what I would go for. If you don't want Lob City, you could just put it into Giant Slayer. But that's what I would go with. I would confirm those badges. Shooting. Now, this is a little twist for me. I would go with Hot Zone Hunter. I think that applies for if you have a hot zone under the basket. Wouldn't that increase your chances of like hitting the layup or the dunk or something? Like, I feel like it does. But obviously, if it's not true, you would go with either Ice in My Veins if you play a lot of rec, or Slippery Finisher. I said slippery finisher. No, slippery off ball, just to be juking the big that's going to be down there with you. If you're playing a lot of twos, you set a screen, and it's good to, learn how to juke and maneuver around the inside paint. So I'm going to just go with slithery off ball on that one. Now with playmaking, the reason I said go with 8 potential badges is because the reason I want you to go with this is because I want you to put one on bailout, just because if you feel like you're in a layup animation, you feel like you're gonna miss, or a dunk animation, and you feel like you might not make it, you can dish out. And it's a possibility that just with having it on bronze, that person won't throw it out of bounds, and it will just give the person receiving the ball just one of those trash animations that he might lose the ball, but he doesn't really. But that's what I would go with. Break starter, and then you want to max these 2 out on gold. No, that's the highest you can actually go. Post spin, obviously you're gonna be a inside big, so you're gonna want that. And if you're gonna be doing a whole bunch of post moves and fakes, Dream Shake is definitely the move. Now, don't get me wrong, Needle Threader, if you are going, like, you can take bailout if you want, you can put Needle Threader, just because if you get the rebound and you throw it those break starter passes, them Odell Beckham catches, like, you would want to have Needle Threader simply for the fact that if there's an opponent running with your teammate, there's a chance that he can actually hit the ball and prevent the fast break. So it's completely up to you. I'm gonna just leave it on bailout though. Rebounding and defense. Well, I just said that backwards. You want to put box. You want to put that maxed out. Chase down. Always have it on bronze. It doesn't matter what build you have. I don't care how many badges you have. always have this on bronze and rim protector on bronze. You need that. Like there's no argument there. You need those. Pogo stick, you're gonna want that silver, worm silver, post move lockdown. You're gonna have this all the way up, intimidator on bronze, and you wanna have this. I actually put this up too high. You wanna have that. That's gonna be my setup. Brick walls, you're gonna be setting screens. Obviously, I would love to go back right here and pick and roller. If you're running a whole bunch of twos and you have brick wall, that will actually make it insanely good for you. You can honestly take all of this off. You actually need that, so no. And I will put this up to gold. And if you just run that, like the pick and roll on the twos, I guarantee you there is nobody stopping you. And that would be my perfect inside center build. Let me know if anybody in the world got this build, if this is actually what you love. I will actually try to continue this little upload consistency thing going. Hopefully it goes out the way I want it to. But that is going to be the end of the video. Please leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment, let them know what you think. You already know who the fuck it is, man. It's your boy Ricky Rose, and I'm out of here.